What's up, my creators? Today I want to show you how you can do well on your task 1 table. This is from IELTS 7 Test 1 Task 1. The table below gives information on the consumer spending on different items in 5 different countries in 2002. Sorry about this. So let's get started. First of all, we're gonna paraphrase this one, then we're gonna write an overall as usual, then we're gonna start with the body. So without further ado, let's get started. I hope you have this table in front of you, so that would be much for you for you to understand this. Alright, so let's get started. So I'm gonna start with paraphrasing the table. The table shows percentages of consumer spending. Let's say instead of consumer spending, because consumer spending is given here, so instead I want to say like a consumer expenditure for 3 categories. As you can see, we have 3 categories right here: the food and drinks and tobacco, clothing and footwear, leisure and education. All right, categories of products and services. All right, let's say and services in 5 different countries. Okay, 5% in 2002. Alright, that's all about it. That we have finished with the introduction, that we just paraphrased a little bit, and we tried to add some grammar and vocabulary a little bit differently. So let's start with an overall. Overall, the largest proportion of consumer, let's say consumer spending in each country went on food, drinks, and tobacco, whereas the leisure and education category has the lowest percentages in the table. Okay, that's it. That we have this overall here, that we give an overall view for this table, and now we're gonna start with bodies. So let's get started. So among 5 given countries in the table, consumer spending on food, drinks, and tobacco was noticeably higher in Turkey, where it was at 32.14%, and Ireland at nearly 29%. As you can see, these percentages are really high here, and actually the highest ones, these ones. And yeah, that's what mentioned, because as you can see, the percentages are really high here compared to these ones, and all the percentages are higher in this category. All right, so after this, the proportion of spending on leisure and education was also highest in Turkey at 4.35%, while expenditure on clothing and footwear was slightly higher significantly higher in Italy. Well, here as you can see, Italy is really high, so that I'm saying that it is significantly higher in Italy. So in this category, Turkey is number one. In this category, Turkey again one, but in this category, Italy is number one. Was significantly higher in Italy at 9% than in any other countries. That's all about it. We finished our first body paragraph. Now I'll start giving details for this country that we totally missed, Spain and Sweden. So I want to do this now. So meanwhile Sweden had the lowest percentage of national consumer expenditure for food, drinks, tobacco, and for clothing, footwear at nearly what percent? 60, or here is it, this one 18. Sweden is almost 16. Okay, it's nearly 16%, and just over 5% respectively. Okay, so we talked about these parts clearly and we give them clear information. Now I'll start with Spain, where Spain had slightly higher figures, but not that high for these categories. But the lowest figure for leisure education at only 1.98%. That's all about it. That we described everything in the detail and we give them information. That's what we've asked to do. You don't have to do more than that. You don't have to give your personal opinion. You just have to write in the way that you've been asked to write. Okay, so as you can see, that's all clearly describes the table. It deserves a higher mark, and we have a good vocabulary, good grammar, and without any mistakes. And as you can see, that it's not really tricky. All you have to do is just to give them detailed information and point out the most important parts in this table, and you're gonna get your desired mark for sure if you follow this structure easily. And thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions, you can leave in the comments. You can contact me by Instagram or WhatsApp, Telegram, or you can find my WhatsApp number as well. Just contact me by Instagram and I'll give it to you. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. As always, be happy.